What is it you don't like about the way people talk? Since I started smoking, I've always been a little bit late to things. I started smoking at 28 as an experiment. See how hard it would be to quit after hearing how that nicotine helps you focus. It affects the acetylcholinergic nervous system and all this stuff. Nicotine it helps you focus. And I said, so if I smoke during finals, it would be better for me. And this guy's like, yeah, I guess. Like he'd never thought of it. He's a goddamn professor at a state-run university in California. Huh. Ta-da, I just gave you an idea. Do an experiment, motherfucker. So for many reasons, I decided to start smoking. Steven Tyler's one of them, that guy from Aerosmith. He said that quitting smoking was harder than quitting heroin. And I was thinking, you're just a rock star. You're not a rocket scientist. Yeah. So there were several. Step pro ration voluntas. Step pro ration voluntas. You know, that's Latin for let my will stand for a reason. I take an interpretation of that. I didn't know that until I had already just pretty much come to feel like everything for a reason. You know, I do things, there are many different reasons coming in. I do consider, we have to consider all the consequences, everything that comes into play. And so I started smoking and I started being late to things. Did the math, and it turned out at that time I was losing about 3 hours a day to cigarette smoking. So I'd always show up late to things. I walked into Daniel Severin became the music director after Pure Legend. And he'd be holding these meetings, Tuesday radio meetings, and after the mass meeting, I'd come in late and I go, and he's like, you're late. I said, well, you know what? All of you people, I talked to them all. I said, I'm late because I was out in the desert just now handling a rattlesnake. I said, if you're going to be late because you're handling a rattlesnake, that's your own damn fault. You cannot use me as an example, because most people aren't going to be out wrestling a rattlesnake. You can't use me as an example. Same way at Michigan State when they tried to write me up and made me sign something because I was climbing the buildings in the night. They didn't know. It was hearsay. They just wanted me to admit it. They knew it was me. Everybody knew it was me. But they're sitting there going, you have to sign this. I said, I'm not signing anything. I was about to get punished. And they said, other people can start climbing buildings, seeing you doing it. And it would be, what do you call it? One of those things, they'd be held responsible or something. I'm like, I said, you know what? Anybody that's stupid enough to do the things I do, they've got what they've got coming. That's the idea. So that's what I come into the radio meeting with. And then on other occasions, see, he didn't like that. Other occasions I come in the middle of winter with a damn pair of long johns on, no shirt, no shoes, but service. I'd come through the back gates, back curtains of the radio meeting, and I go, ha! Always late. And I'd tell a story. I said, geez, it's colder than hell out there. I had to put on my thermals and stand out and smoke cigarettes on break with people without a shirt while they've got winter coats on in California. I come from the land of the ice and snow with the midnight sun and harsh winds blow. This is nothing to me. And so then another time I come in late, and I was just like, through the back window, and then, everybody freaks out. There's an auditorium full of radio people. I didn't realize that it was that important, that I took it seriously. So I never did. And I told a story about an accident. I took some reality that was close to happening on the way there, and I talked about this woman with a baby. She just had this newborn baby. There was an accident, and she had her legs pinned under the dashboard, but she was holding the baby, and I grabbed the baby, and that's how the madman, he says, I knew it wasn't real when you threw the baby in the ditch. And I grabbed the baby and threw it in the ditch. And I said, and I took out my Bic and I cauterized her femoral arteries as they were splaying blood all over. I cooked them. And there, I'm sorry I'm late. I had an ordeal on the way here. And what I heard after that, and I sat down. What I heard after the meeting was that Daniel Severin got up in the middle of it. He said to somebody that said this to me, I don't remember who it was. They said he just got up and he said, I can't stand the sound of that guy's voice. And he walked out of the auditorium where we had our meetings. And I found that so funny. Really. Now thinking about it, I don't know if it's humorous or peculiar. Funny ha-ha or funny peculiar. But I'm pretty sure it's funny peculiar to me now. Can't stand the sound of that guy's voice. It wasn't my voice that bothered you. It was my attitude. Instigate. You know what instigators do? Is the dumbest person you meet, the stupidest person you meet, those are two different things. Either of those people, they can't instigate somebody properly. To instigate forces the idea upon you to think outside of the way you think. You say, and the person says, oh, I don't know if you should be saying this here. And you look at him sitting next to him, Mary's Tavern, and you say, I've paid attention to you. I think you can take it. And he says, yes, but I don't know if other people can.